Hello, everyone, and welcome to another BiblioBibuli review. Since I just reviewed The Martian, I felt it was only appropriate to review another Andy Weir novel. So today I'm going to talk about Project Hail Mary. This is Weir's third book. I have not yet read Artemis, his second book. Biggs told me, though, that since I'd read The Martian, I had to read Project Hail Mary. So I did. This book was published in 2021, and like The Martian, it is set to become a major motion picture with Emma Stone and Ryan Gosling. Project Hail Mary received a lot of rave reviews from big names like Bryan Sanderson and George R.R. Martin, but there were a lot more complaints from the public this time around than The Martian faced. So where do I fall in along this spectrum? I'm going to attempt to give a spoiler-free synopsis here. There is so much about this book that I want to discuss, but doing so would give too much away. So here we go. Our main character is a guy named Ryland Grace. Weir did not try to be subtle with the connection between his name and the name of the book. Grace wakes up in the middle of space on a ship with no recollection of who he is, and with the rest of his crew dead. The story unfolds as Grace slowly regains his memory and attempts to fulfill the high-stakes mission that he and his now-deceased crewmates set out on. He's all alone with nothing but the ship and his scientific mind to help him. Or is he? I'm gonna leave it at that. Now, this novel did share a lot of heavy similarities with The Martian. Ryland Grace is very much like Mark Watney. He's kind of a more subdued version, but they are kind of the same guy. There are a cast of characters on Earth that the reader gets to interact with through vignettes of Ryland's memories as he regains them throughout the novel. Like the NASA gang in The Martian, all of these characters are very much broad-stroke characters that mostly serve to kind of push the plot along. They're very one-dimensional, they just kind of give color to everything. Grace himself doesn't undergo any major character shifts or arcs, very much like Watney in The Martian. This lack of character depth is where most of the complaints have come from. However, there is one element to this novel that really pushes this book far ahead of The Martian and lays all of those character complaints to waste, at least for me. Let me just say that in a story about a sole survivor in space, Ryland Grace is not my favorite character. The science is very heavy in this book, heavier than even in The Martian. Different scientific fields are explored in more depth. While Watney's science was geared a lot towards botany and terrestrial scientific problems, Grace has to deal with all things space. We're talking about centripetal force, orbit, even music. Grace is much more of a polymath with an almost superhuman ability to pull equations and theories and ideas out of nowhere to solve problems. The problems never really seem that grave, because once a problem happens, Grace can pretty quickly come up with some kind of scientific solution to the problem and everything gets fixed. However, it is interesting to see those problems play out and how the scientific solution kind of fits in there and how it all works out, how it all plays out. And again, in this novel, Weir has an uncanny ability to take something very complicated and make it accessible to anyone. Honestly, I really liked this book. I liked it more than The Martian, and it really honestly is because of my favorite character. They stole the entire story, and without them, this book kind of would have been, well, a rocky road, shall we say? The science is fun and interesting, but like I said with The Martian, if you're not interested in that kind of stuff, the book might be a bit of a chore for you. Weir's humor is ever present, and his minimalist style has evolved. That's been kind of the fun part about reading his books, is I'm literally watching a writer evolve and grow with each novel. So that part is actually really cool. If you enjoy sci-fi, definitely pick up this one. It's a great addition to the genre, just like The Martian, but for different reasons. If you want deep characters and lots of growth and conflict, this is not for you. So let me know. Have you read it? Will you read it? Have you read The Martian? Did you like that? Should I read Artemis if you have read it? Let us know in the comments below. Bye!